So let's put the beet seeds on soil. Over here I have the seeds, and over here I have soil, potting soil. And I use 2 cups. One, I put some holes in the bottom, and in the other cup I put some rocks to make some space between the 2 cups. Let's take a look at the seeds. This is what they look like. And it is very easy to sow the seeds. The only thing you need to do is make a hole on the soil, like this, small hole. You can put 2 or 3 seeds inside. 1, 2, 3. 3 seeds, then cover it up. And then put a good quantity of water. So I'm going to repeat the same thing in these cups over here. Okay, and that's it. Now I'm going to keep it in a bright place. Keep the soil always humid, not saturated, but humid. And then in a few weeks, when the beet plants are well developed, I will transplant them to a bigger pot. So that's it. Let's wait and see. After 4 days, the beets are already sprouting. Some of them. So now we are 1 month after sowing the seeds, and at this point they are ready to be transplanted to a bigger pot, which will be the final pot where they will grow and be harvested. You can transplant one plant individually, separate them individually, or you can transplant all this group of beets together. I will do the 2 ways to see what happens in each situation. So let's transplant them to the bigger pot. So now I'm going to start the transplant. I'm going to put the beets in these 2 pots. And I will also test if we can use a pot that is wide but not too deep, like this one on the left, or if we should always use a pot that is deep, like this one in the right. I will use the 2 pots, and at the end we will see which pot is better for growing beets. In the same pot I will transplant individually and in bulks together. I will start with this one individually. So you have to do it gently, not to damage. Try not to damage the roots. This one I took it with the roots, so I'm going to transplant it over here. Make a hole, cover it up, press it down gently, and here we have the first beet transplanted. Now these over here, I will transplant them all together and put them over here. I'm going to try to take it out with the maximum quantity of soil that I can. Okay, and maintain more or less 10 centimeters of distance, from 10 to 15 centimeters, or 4 to 6 inches of distance between the beets. make a hole and put it inside. Here you go. Press it down. There you go. Over here I have one individually with the root. I will maintain 10 centimeters of distance. Make a hole. Put it in the hole. Press it down. And I will continue doing the same thing. And now I will do the same thing over here in this pot. Then water it very well. And be careful not to damage the beets, the beet plants. Then put it in a place that it catches around 6 hours of sun per day. If it is not possible 6 hours, try the maximum quantity of sun it can catch. Be careful for it not to get too warm. This plant does not tolerate high temperatures. Keep the soil always watered, well watered, but not saturated. And that's it. Some slugs ate a little bit of the leaves, but we can see the beets are already growing. I'm having some problems with caterpillars, slugs and snails that are eating the leaves. But anyway, the root is what we need to harvest and to eat, and they are growing well. I can harvest these beets now, since they are the size of golf balls. You can already harvest, but I'm going to leave them a little longer for it to grow a little bit more. In this pot, I'm also having the problem with the slugs and snails that are eating the leaves. And we can see that the beets are not so big, so they're not growing so well in this pot. They already have a good size. We had some problems with the slugs and snails that are eating the leaves, but the root is fine, and the root is what we need to harvest. So let's see how they look. There you go. Looks fine. And it has a good size. So it is a good harvest. Okay. Let's try this one over here. As we can see over here, we use the second method, that is transplanting 2 or more plants into the same location, and we can see that one beet grew well and the other one is kind of small. So we can understand that method 1 is more efficient. So you should transplant one beet plant to one location for it to grow big in size. This one also looks fine. And we have this one that is a little bit small, but we can eat it also. This is the other pot that I used to put the beets. The pot is shorter but wider, and we can see that the beets did not gain a good size. They are very small. I am harvesting and all of them have a small size. This one is the biggest from this pot. But if you can see, if you take a look, they all have, they are quite small. The leaves have been eaten from slugs and snails. So the size is medium small. These are medium small and these are very, very small. If you want to plant beets in pots, it is better to use tall pots, deep pots, instead of wide and short. So we can conclude that if you want to grow beets in pots, you should prefer pots that are deep or tall, and when transplanting, you should transplant one plant at a time to each location. Tell us in the comments, what do you think of this experiment? And I hope you enjoyed the video. Please don't forget to subscribe and to put the thumbs up. See you and goodbye.